Hello and welcome to Nationwide on the NTA. I am Ifoma Ojinta. President Bola Tinubu is advocating a more purposeful global commitment and partnership towards addressing climate change challenges and building a sustainable future for generations to come. The Nigerian leader addressed the high-level session of the ongoing 2025 Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week holding in the capital of the United Arab Emirates, UAE. State House correspondent Musbah Wahab reports.
It was the turn of the global leaders on this platform to renew commitments in protecting the global ecosystems. The dynamics and realities of climate change demand greater intentionality. It is an existential issue for humanity. The founding fathers of the United Arab Emirates have explored and demonstrated possibilities and now driving the mandate through international collaboration to supercharge sustainable progress across the world.
Your Excellency, the stage is yours.
President Bola Tinubu led in the day to take the stage. He would address the gathering on climate imperatives to economic prosperity, bringing Africa into the future of global energy.
We face serious challenges, environmental challenges including deforestation, desertification, coastal erosion, flooding, pollution, and many other negative impacts of climate change. Lake Chad continues to shrink every year. Livelihood of people continue to be threatened.
President Tinubu recounted Nigeria's efforts at ensuring climate resilience, including his administration's drives on CNG and other initiatives at transiting to cleaner energy. But he acknowledged the enormity of a climate change manifestation in Africa, which he said requires greater international partnership.
To promote a green economy in Africa, we must focus on integrating sustainable practices in all sectors of our economy. These investments are capital intensive in nature, and it required international support from partner countries, including multinational organizations.
Our aspirations for sustainable and inclusive blue economy are not just for ourselves. They are for the generations to come and for a healthier planet.
The future of energy transition and digitization will thus depend on our ability to strike a balance between sustainability and innovation. We need a device-balanced energy mix based on the technologies we have in place, those we are experimenting with and those yet to identify.
While advancing care for the earth through technological progress, the summit is equally aiming at unlocking a potential $10 trillion economic transformation opportunity therein. In Abu Dhabi, Musbah Wahab, NTA News.
Okay, a report just reaching us states that the Minister of Information is at the budget defense at the House of Representatives and rejects the capital proposal for the 2025 budget of the ministry. Details of this report will be brought to you in our subsequent bulletins. Now, it was a sight to behold at the National Arcade, Abuja. Vice President Kashim Shettima stood in for President Tinubu to mark the 2025 Armed Forces Celebration and Remembrance Day. State House correspondent Abdulrahman Jibrila reports that the laying of wreath by top government official was the climax.
Vice President Kashim Shettima arrives at the National Arcade to honor the legacy of the fallen heroes who paid the ultimate sacrifice to ensure peace and security, then celebrating the living legends. Prayers were offered for the repose of the souls of the deceased and for continued peace and security to prevail in the country.
And grant them the fortitude to stay strong and find solace in you.
Bless our country, Nigeria, and unite us together. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار.
Common good of all. Lord, do not mark their guilt. Bring them and all the departed into the light of your presence.
Laying of wreath led by Vice President Kashim Shettima, Senate President and the Speaker, House of Representatives, Chief Justice of the Federation, Ministers, Chief of Defense Staff and Service Chiefs, and the Inspector General of Police, among others. Firing of 3 volleys by the firing party and the release of pigeons mark the end of the Remembrance Day, rounding the event off with national salutes.
Presidential permission has been sought and graciously granted there.
Though brief, less than an hour, but memories will last long. In Abuja, Abraham Jibrila, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, is seeking more support for the Nigerian armed forces in their efforts to ensure the safety of lives and property in the country. In a message to mark this year's Armed Forces Remembrance Day, Speaker Abbas pledges synergy among various arms of government to strengthen the armed forces for the unity and prosperity of the country. He says there cannot be economic growth and stability without the safety of lives and investments, and promises that the 10th House will continue to prioritize security and safety of all Nigerians, as well as better welfare packages for the families of the fallen heroes. Now, stakeholders want a comprehensive policy that prioritizes the welfare of soldiers, including the retired and fallen heroes. Lekon Agbonde reports that they believe this will inspire loyalty, commitment, and patriotism.
Different categories and generations of heroes who expended their sweat and blood for the protection and sustenance of Nigeria's national territorial integrity. Millicent Francis, a 34-year-old mother of 2 children, became widowed in 2013 when her husband got shot during a rescue mission of the kidnapped Chibok girls.
So he died 2013. Then I was pregnant. I was 2 months pregnant for my second daughter.
I lost my husband in 2014, and it has not been easy, but we thank God for everything. And I'm having 4 children. So I've been catering for them since then. At least I'm able to raise 3 of them from the university.
At least I could remember my father died when I was in primary 4 then. So my mom has been the one catering for me and my siblings. So, and I finished my university and my secondary school 2019, and I've been at home since.
I wouldn't say all is well, but there are some of us that they have the grace of God that they are doing well.
We need money to trade. Many of us, our children has graduated, no work. So we are appealing to the government to help us.
In Abeokuta, Lekon Agbonde, NTA News.
We now join Lekon Agbonde live in Abeokuta for more on the situation of the families of some fallen heroes. Hello, Lekon. How is it going over there?
Thank you very much. We are at the Okemoson. This behind me is a cenotaph where the governor of Ogun State and other dignitaries with the military converged on this ground to lay the wreath and also to for the gun salute. They also do everything in memory of the fallen heroes, those who shed their blood, their sweat to ensure that Nigeria's territorial integrity is protected. And when these people, they work day and night, and the celebration is not only about the fallen heroes, it's also to appreciate the ones who are still alive. They are toiling day and night to ensure the safety of citizens. And these people that died, they are not the real victims. The real victims are those family members that they left behind, in which they have to live with the trauma of their losses, the emotional trauma of the losses, and living also without their benefactor. These are the real victims. And in Ogun State, the chairman of the Nigerian Legion told me that the case in Ogun State is different because the Ogun State government, under the leadership of the governor of Ogun State, Dapo Abiodun, have been doing a lot for the widows and those who have retired, the veterans of war. He told me that the government is doing a lot, but there are still a lot to be done in the area of putting food on the table of the wives and the widows of the fallen heroes. They are asking government to put something on ground, at least to ensure that their welfare is being catered for. The widows also confirmed to me that this government is doing a lot, but they also want a kind of empowerment in which the widows of the fallen heroes will fall back on and be able to take care of the families that they left behind. The situation in Ogun State is not that precarious because government is really helping the people. But the question also is that the people who are on the war front, in order to take good care of them, to put their welfare to be a priority, even when they are still in active service, so that they can put their might to work and ensure that the patriotism, the loyalty to the nation is not divided. And these are the questions that stakeholders are asking. And they are also asking government to ensure that they buy up-to-date equipment for the soldiers in order to tackle insurgencies, in order to tackle terrorism, so that Nigerians can go to bed and sleep with their two eyes closed.
Much indeed for that update, Leko. Thank you very much. That will be all for now. Now, one cannot mention fallen heroes without remembering those they left behind. Their widows especially have to navigate the complexities of grief, loneliness, and financial uncertainty. Their own lives are forever changed by the ultimate sacrifice made by their loved ones. Now, joining us live in the studio to give insights and recommendations about the welfare of military widows is the founder, Military Widows Association of Nigeria, Veronica Aluko. Thank you for joining us on Nationwide today.
So much.
Now, talk to us about the military widows. Military widows can relate to the pain and grief. What are some of the other challenges, military widows face?
Thank you so much. The challenges military widows face is just generally like the challenges other widows face in general. I think most of us know the pains of widows and pain of widowhood. So, but what made the military widow to be a bit different is that this came as unprepared. It's not that the man is sick and he died. Some of them just tell their wife, I'm going and coming back. They never came back. That trauma, you are traumatized. You can't bring yourself together. You're lost in memory. You understand? So I think it's a place of bringing them together again to become sane people again. Because when you are devastated, you are automatically insane a bit for some seconds. But when you're able to bring them together and let them have purpose and focus to face the future, I think they will be impactful to the society where their husbands served and paid the supreme price.
Okay, you are the founder of the Military Widows Association of Nigeria. Now, what informed, the decision to establish this association?
Thank you so much. I think from Civil War, although for the Civil War, widows have been there. But when this insurgency thing came up, we're just scattered, so something I'm prepared for. Widows are all over the whole place. We decided to form an association to bring all of us together under one umbrella, so they can reach to ensure that when you are sick, you have whatever thing you are going through, let's go through it together. So we're able to form the military widow with some other widows, mostly the Nigerian Navy. They really finance the forming. They gave up money to go and register the military widows, and today The situation that spread around the whole country. We have all our, in the state of the Federation, we have our structures there. We have coordinators, and we can reach, and if a widow is sick in Lagos, we can reach to that widow. Whatever thing she's going through in Lagos, we are going through with her. Then we can be able to search for solution wherever we are, collectively.
Okay. Now, in addition to health and training initiatives facilitated by the Defense and Police Officers' Wives Association and other sister associations like NOAA and the rest, is there any program to provide counseling and mental health support?
I think the DEPOA arm of that's the mother body of the Armed Forces wives, has this training. I think recently they introduced this training on mental health to talk to the widows. I think I would advise they should do widows conference on memory healing. When you can do that, they're able to come back to sanity again. When a woman is sane, she can affect and be impactful, like I earlier said, to the society. But the woman who is not stable, like cannot be focused, and this is a woman that has taken care of the home front. Now she has to take care of the family. No more the man coming. She's not the breadwinner, the doctor, the teacher. A sane woman is the only one that can handle this. When you are not sane emotionally, things will go bad for our children. So I believe if mental health is organized by doing the memory healing for the widows, they will come back to sanity.
All right. You have this platform. Any final suggestions or recommendation?
I won't say, let me just say one borrow, one leave to our mother, the mother of the nation, the First Lady, Her Excellency, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, through our DEPOA mother. She gave a lot to the widows last year, package of 200,000. And towards the end of the year, she gave palliative to a startup package for every widow. They asked them what they are doing. Those who are into catering, different things. She gave things for them to start up. And I believe this widow, she used this thing well. And let the person who gave it to us be happy that she has really set up these widows. So I would say a big thank you to her. As a mother, she really had the cry of the widows through our DEPOA president. We're really grateful.
All right, thank you very much indeed. Founder, Military Widows Association of Nigeria, Victoria Aluko. It's been a pleasure having you on Nationwide.
Thank you so much.
It's now time to go over to our Lagos Network Center for more stories on Nationwide with Adiola as our guide. Hello, Adiola.
Thank you, Ifoma. Ex-servicemen and women have called for collaboration of all and sundry in a renewed fight against any issue or development that can jeopardize the security situation of communities in the country. They made the call while talking to our correspondent, Larry Milei, at the commemoration of this year's Armed Forces and Remembrance Day.
In the era of security is everybody's business, as we mark this year's Armed Forces and Remembrance Day, one of the stakeholders in this solemn event are the ex-servicemen. So I asked them, what are you doing to ensure that security is maintained in your community?
We have what we call a Nigerian Corps of Commissioner, which is our auxiliary. We do encourage them, and we are very close to them now, very, very close to them. We do encourage them that you come and join us instead of them involving themselves in all those hoodlums activities in the community.
And it should not be only security agencies. Everybody must be involved. That's why I'm of opinion that should be taught in school. Security should be one of the key subjects to be taught in all levels of our education.
There's still more after that. They told me that they are also providing intelligence for the security agents that are still active in service and in the area of community policing, especially the ones that involves women.
Of course, intelligence is not something that is meant to be passed publicly. So we have our own way of conveying such messages coded to the Nigerian police for decoding and immediate analysis. And of course, they've been working based on our intelligence. When we pass intelligence, they work on it and they derive results.
Time we are out there, we're looking after, we're thinking of where is this boy? Where is this girl? What is he doing right now? We want to call them. Even our husband, we're thinking about them. Is that not security? We're watching after them.
They are saying that there are still areas they are still looking at to capture to ensure that security is everybody's business. In Lagos, Larry Bilayi, NTA News.
And still on the Armed Forces Day, Nigeria's armed forces, especially the fallen heroes, are the reason for Nigeria's indivisibility, having paid the supreme price in protecting the territorial integrity of a nation. And Joao Bukbola will complete that report.
When Nigeria attained independence in 1960, Lagos, which had been the capital during the colonial era, retained its status and equally became the command headquarters and strategic base of the armed forces before Abuja became the federal capital territory in 1991. Many of these pivotal military formations of the Army, Navy, and Air Force are still very crucial to the security architecture of the state. Members of the Nigerian Legion say these military structures and the interagency collaboration has laid a solid foundation for speedy development of Lagos.
When we talk about a state, the head of operation, internal operation there is usually the commissioner of police. But with the presence of all these big wigs in the military, commissioner of police is always at advantage to always, whenever the need arises, whenever there is need to have a kind of armed compartment deployed.
The street of Lagos is safe. Lagos as a whole is safe just because of the synergy among the security personnel that are operating within the state.
Dodam barracks and other special military units are all parts of the historical antecedents of the military, and retired but not tired officers are still helping in the areas of internal security of the state.
They know all the what they call antics of war. They know when something happens here. When you hear the sound of gunshot here now, pa! All soldiers know what to do among other civilians. If there is need to do something to help the situation, they know what to do.
As Nigeria celebrates Armed Forces and Remembrance Day, they will be remembered for their selfless sacrifice to the nation. In Lagos, Joel Bukbola, NTA News.
Indeed, the armed forces will always be remembered for the sacrifice to the nation. And we are done from Lagos. Chika in Enugu will be up after the break for contributions from that zone. To stay on to the NTA.
I am Oluremi Tinubu, the global and national Stop TB champion. Many people have asked why I've chosen to champion the fight against a disease like tuberculosis. My reason stems from a deep personal experience. I once had a friend who unfortunately fell ill and concealed the nature of his sickness until it was too late. Eventually, after he passed, we discovered he had tuberculosis. Sadly, due to the stigma and discrimination surrounding the disease, he would not speak up or seek for help. His death was a painful reminder that we could have intervened and saved a life if only we had known earlier. Tuberculosis is an airborne disease that primarily affects the lungs, but can also impact other parts of the body. Being airborne means anyone, regardless of their social economic status, can contract it. In Nigeria, 1 person dies of TB-related illness every 7 minutes, amounting to 206 deaths every day. Globally, 1 person succumbs to TB every 25 seconds, which is a staggering 3,456 lives lost daily. These deaths are entirely preventable because TB is curable if detected and treated early. If you or someone you know has been coughing for 2 weeks or more, coughing up blood, experiencing night sweats, or losing weight drastically, it might be TB. Please visit the nearest government hospital or primary healthcare center for proper diagnosis and treatment. TB treatment is free in all government and some private health facilities. Let us also remember not to stigmatize or discriminate against TB patients or those who have been treated for TB. Individuals who have been cured of TB cannot infect others. I call on all stakeholders, especially the private sector, to join us in the fight to end TB in Nigeria. Together, we can make a difference. Remember, TB anywhere is TB everywhere. End TB by 2030. Yes, we can.
Hey Nigeria, ready to breathe cleaner air and save money? Let's talk about gas. Drive with CNG, the smart, cost-effective choice. Fill up for less and travel further. Save money, save the planet. Switch to LPG for cooking. It's cleaner, healthier, and better for environment. Say goodbye to smoke and eye problems. Do you know Nigeria is a gas nation ranked 9th globally with over 209 trillion cubic feet of gas reserve? Gas isn't just for cooking and driving. It powers industries too. Cleaner, cheaper, and more efficient. And the best part, conversion centers are popping up everywhere. It's never been easier to switch to gas. Join the cleaner energy revolution. Choose LPG for cooking and CNG for your vehicles. Clean energy for brighter future. This message is brought to you by the Office of the Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Gas, supported by the Nigeria Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, NMDPRA.
Welcome to Enugu Network Center. Governor Peter Mba has reaffirmed government's continued support to the armed forces in appreciation and honor to the sacrifices paid and still paying in defending the nation's territorial integrity. The governor was speaking at the grand finale of the 2025 Armed Forces Remembrance Day celebration at the iconic Michael Okpara Square, Enugu. Chika Ugu reports.
A sober gathering in honor of the remarkable contribution of the men and women of the armed forces. The ritual laying of wreath at the foot of the fallen heroes was performed with the governor taking the lead. Having inspected the parade, Governor Peter Mba acknowledged the sacrifices of those who paid the ultimate price and those who are still keeping the flag flying. Their bravery in confronting threats and curbing insurgency in the nation, he said, deserves accolades, reason they and their families should be accorded empathy.
Every January 15th, we're reminded of that sacrifice and selflessness who paid the final price with their lives.
The Nigerian Legion urged government to tap into their wealth of knowledge in securing the nation, as well as called on the public to complement government's efforts of motivating those in active service, assist the retirees and families of the deceased.
Their deeds, their sacrifices, the bravado, all that they showed for the nation, for the purpose of making the nation one and to secure the nation, that they are not forgotten.
There are so many ways that they can help us, that they can come to our help. You know, like our children now, some of them are in the school, they are in university. If they can give them scholarship, we will be happy.
The event climaxed with the release of a pigeon signifying peace and unity in the nation. In Enugu, Chika Ugu, NTA News.
The Nigeria Air Force has reiterated commitment to adequately cater for the welfare of retired men and women of the force. This came to the fore at a party with air veterans at the First Grand Training Command, Enugu. Chimaruke Ugu is our guide.
The party with the Nigerian Air Force veterans is an initiative of the current Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar. It is an avenue for veterans to share knowledge and experiences during and after their service here with the serving officers and have first-hand information of the current happenings in the force. The Chief of Air Staff, represented by the Air Officer commanding the Ground Training College, Enugu, emphasized the need to tap into the knowledge and experiences of the Nigerian Air Force veterans. He hear their challenges and provide solutions to enhance national peace and security.
We sensitize them so that particularly those of them that have some medical issues, the Air Force have been assisting them in the past, and for those of them that are not aware, it's an opportunity for them to come forward now and be assisted as necessary. We keep in touch with the service, and for those of them that have skills as based on the lectures we have given, at least everybody is talented in one way or the other, they will be able to use those skills to better themselves.
You must have to plan, and when you have retired, you have to shade some of your activities in order to keep the little you were able to save.
Veterans were enlightened on common health issues associated with aging, using soft skills to improve income in their retirement, and Nigerian Air Force strategy of veterans management. In Enugu, Chimaroke Ugu, NTA News.
That's a package from Enugu Network Center. Now let's join Ijoma Ifoma Ojenta in Abuja for the continuation of the news.
Thank you very much, Chika. Now, the governor of Zamfara State, Dauda Lawal, has commended the chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, for his commitment and concern for the affected victims of the air strikes in the state. This was while receiving members of the Nigerian Air Force Fact-Finding Committee at the Government House in Zamfara State. Defense correspondent Olajide Bello reports.
First port of call was to the Chief Executive Officer of Zamfara State to acquaint him on the purpose of the committee's visit to the state. On the part of Zamfara State government, the bills of casualties receiving medical attention in Kaura Namoda Teaching Hospital and Gidangoga will be footed.
There's a team from Abuja that was sent by the Chief of Air Staff to come and commiserate with the good people of Zamfara State. That shows a sign of good leadership. Even though we know it was not intentional, it was in the process of doing their job.
The real fact-finding mission commenced in earnest. Though the terrain was rough, the fact-finding team were willing, able and ready to navigate through to deliver on the task assigned by the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar. On getting to the community, Air Vice Marshal Edward Gapquet interacted with the community head and members who took them on a guided tour of the spot of the incident, showing relics of what was left after the airstrike. 80-year-old Audu Aikau, who is the Sirikin Dangebe village in Zurumi local government area of Zamfara State, said the visit has restored the confidence of the community and the commitment of the Nigerian Air Force to the welfare of citizens.
The help we need is that anytime the bandits come out, we call for help and expect a quick response.
Moving forward, and of course to work with the community to reach out and ameliorate some of the situations, what this situation has caused for the community.
With smiles on their faces, the Nigerian Air Force confidence have been restored in the affected community. Olajide Bello, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, says realistic training, adequate troop sustenance and equipment procurement will help the Nigerian Army achieve operational success. He expressed this view at the Training and Doctrine Command 2025. Fatima Usman reports that the conference has as its theme Understanding Nigerian Army Doctrine for Effective Training Within a Joint Environment.
The 2025 conference of the Training and Doctrine Command, Nigerian Army sets the standard for training activities in all Nigerian Army training schools and centers across the country to guide them on their statutory responsibility. This year's conference is designed to use the developed Nigerian Army Training Manual on chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear warfare response effectively to the multifaceted and sometimes mutating security challenges the Nigerian Army is tasked to mitigate. The engagement is expected to thoroughly assess Nigeria's current security and defense environment, evaluate training curriculum, and propose ideas.
Our troops are in the field, and we're even inducting more troops to ensure that we drive them away from our land.
The first step to achieving the desired effectiveness within the joint or multinational environment is to have well-trained and mission-capable troops. This responsibility falls squarely on our training schools and centers in order to be effective during operations.
The Chief of Army Staff, who unveiled the training manual, also addressed the soldiers and assured them of adequate welfare to enable them carry out the mandate of defending the nation's territorial integrity. I'm Fatima Usman, NTA News.
President Bola Tinubu has approved the appointment of Folashade Ariola Adekayoja as Deputy Director General of the Department of State Services, marking a significant milestone in the agency's history. A statement by the DSS notes that the appointment aligns with the DSS original structure, which includes 3 Deputy Director Generals. It follows a recommendation by the DSS Director General Oluwatosin Ajayi through the National Security Advisor Malam Nuhu Ribadu. Adekayoja, a native of Kogi State, is celebrated for her qualifications and extensive experience in the field. Meanwhile, President Tinubu's decision reflects his commitment to bolstering internal security and ensuring Nigerians' safety. We'll now go over to our Port Harcourt Network Center for more stories on Nationwide.
Governor Siminalayi Fubara has lauded President Tinubu's priority attention to the welfare and well-being of the Nigerian Armed Forces. This is as he donated 50 million naira strictly to the widows of fallen heroes to enhance their means of livelihood. The governor made this commitment at the grand finale of the 2025 Armed Forces Remembrance Day celebration held at the Parade Ground, Government House, Port Harcourt. Osinachi Samuel reports.
Governor Siminalayi Fubara, while acknowledging the immense sacrifice of the defense sector in protecting the territorial integrity of Nigeria, observed a minute silence in honor of the fallen heroes. Reiterating his administration's commitment to prioritize the welfare of veterans and their families, Governor Fubara lauded President Tinubu's attention to the development of Nigerian armed forces and urged well-meaning individuals to join hands in supporting the dependents of the fallen heroes.
I commend our Commander-in-Chief, His Excellency the President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFRO, for his efforts in modernizing and prioritizing the welfare of Nigerian armed forces. We assure him of our continued loyalty and support and collaboration. The peace and security of our nation remain a collective responsibility.
The acting chairman of the Rivers State chapter of the Nigerian region, Ku Promise, appreciates Governor Fubara for giving them a sense of belonging in Rivers State.
Your Excellency, sir, I cannot thank you enough for immeasurable support to the welfare of veterans in Rivers State.
The widows of the fallen heroes are overwhelmed by the cash donation of the governor to support their businesses.
Today, we're happy for our own. This is our Pekin first, but now it's a father for us.
We feel happy for seeing Fubara for our governor, our golden governor.
This celebration marks the end of the 2025 Armed Forces Remembrance Day in Rivers State. From the parade ground of Government House, Port Harcourt, Osinachi Samuel, NTA News.
The open manholes along major roads in the city of Port Harcourt have been described as a disaster waiting to happen. Respondents want the government to take decisive action against unscrupulous elements who engage in vandalism of the covers at the expense of the safety of road users.
The open manholes along many roads in Port Harcourt metropolis have become a death trap, particularly for children. A typical example is this particular one along Apara Link Road in NTA Road.
Manhole is a major design in road construction that provides access for free flow of water and addresses erosion. However, scavengers have made it a habit to vandalize the manholes at night for financial reasons, thereby leaving them open and putting the lives of people in danger.
Just like the other one there, I came to get fuel and I didn't know there is an open manhole there. You know, I fell inside and it was something else. I was very lucky because it didn't destroy my tire.
The experience that I have is this manhole in GRUA. My son is coming back from school 2 years today. He entered for the manhole and rain is falling that day. Same that day reached today, I don't see my son.
A few years back, the Rivers State government blocked some open manholes with strong iron rods, but the act of vandalism of the manholes are now on the increase on major roads in Port Harcourt.
The need to cover it cannot be overemphasized. It's a death trap both to adults and to kids, even vehicles.
Very, very dangerous and it can actually take one's life. So I think the government should do something about it.
For me, I would say they should not seal it off. Need a slap, not the iron again, not something they will pull out.
Residents are calling for steep penalty to arrest and bring perpetrators to book. In Port Harcourt, Robinson Daratede, NTA News.
And that does it from Port Harcourt. The news will continue with Sadia in Sokoto right after the break. Good evening.
From the Atlantic across the savannah to the Sahara, we rise, a land of the free, we know they tired.
Adherent to good values. Small actions every day make a big difference for life.
You join us in Sokoto. No fewer than 160 orphans in Sokoto East Senatorial District have been sponsored to study science and social science-related courses at the Mariam Abacha University, Kano. The initiative under Senator Ibrahim Lamido Education Trust Fund is providing the beneficiaries an opportunity to overcome their life-challenging circumstances through education as a driver of positive change in a society. Dalatu Abdullahi has details.
160 candidates from Sokoto East Senatorial District participated in the screening test preparatory to securing their admission to study various courses at the Mariam Abacha University Kano campus under Senator Ibrahim Lamido Education Trust Fund. The beneficiaries are mostly orphans who lost their parents as a result of banditry in the area. Chairman of the screening committee, Professor Mu'adh Umar Shamaki Isa, sheds light.
Previously, so many programs have been conducted. He sponsored other students to India, about 100 people. The kind of gesture the distinguished senator is doing, we have to make sure that we bring the best out of these people who can sustain the program.
Chairman of Senator Lamido's Education Trust Fund, Kabiru Shehu Sarkin Fulani Ngoranyo, maintains that Senator Lamido has been impacting positively on the lives of people in the areas of security, education, empowerment, and health, among others.
Duk wanda a asalin Sokoto ta gabas, wanda Allah ya jaraba da wannan ibtila'i, barayi sun kashe mahaihinsa.
The gesture is targeted at orphans who lost their parents as a result of banditry attacks in the areas.
The initiative receives widespread commendations from politicians, academics, and well-wishers. A mini-drama was staged highlighting importance of education to societal development and the efforts of the benefactor toward uplifting living conditions of his constituents. In Sokoto, Dalhatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
In a display of compassion and commitment to healthcare delivery, wife of the Zamfara State Governor, Huriya Daudalawal, has sponsored free breast cancer screening and lumpectomy surgeries for 100 patients across the state. Halil Muhammad reports that the effort is expected to bring hope and relief to a number of families affected by the disease.
The free screening and lumpectomy surgeries for 100 women conducted at the Ahmad Sani Ariman Bakura Specialist Hospital, Gusau, is part of effort towards ensuring early detection and timely treatment of breast cancer among women in Zamfara State. The intervention, which attracted several women from across the state, followed intensive campaign about the dangers of breast cancer and the need for women to immediately consult health professionals upon observing any lump.
My fellow women,
let us not finish. It may be something simple, but if we neglect it, that is when the problem starts.
Theatre manager of the hospital, Dr. Ali Hussein Shemori, who advised women on regular self-examination, said it helps in identifying any abnormality.
We tell them to come back to follow up, and we also tell them to stick on their course of treatment so that they will have maybe losing one.
Some of the beneficiaries appreciated the governor's wife for the initiative while appealing for its expansion to cover more women affected by breast cancer. It is expected that this effort will help reduce mortality rates associated with breast cancer in the state. In Gusau, Halir Muhammad, NTA News.
And those are the news update from Sokoto. For now, it's now back to Ifoma in Abuja.
Thank you, Sadia. And here is a reminder that Information Minister at the Budget Defense in the House of Representatives rejected capital proposals for 2025 budget of the Ministry of Information and National Orientation. Following an unproductive season occasioned by adulterated seeds and poor yields, Nigeria's onion farmers have been having losses running into billions of naira. But amidst the ruin, a quiet revolution is taking shape as farmers and stakeholders join forces to reclaim their rights to produce their own seeds locally. Abdullahi Umar Ilalu takes it up from here.
Nigeria is the second largest producer of onions in Africa and seventh the world over. It produces about 2 million metric tons annually, with Sokoto accounting for about 20% of the total production. Recently, National Onion Producers, Processors and Marketers Association of Nigeria, NOPMAN, cried out over challenges threatening their livelihoods and sustainability of the onion industry in Nigeria. Investigation by NOPMAN revealed that some unpatriotic persons sold adulterated seed to farmers that contributed to the losses incurred running into millions of naira.
It is better to train our farmers so that they can produce their own seed, because these years farmers, they have got adulterated seeds which they have. Some they even abandon their farms.
We buy bad seed, we plant it, and it cannot produce onion. We have lost our millions of naira. We can't do anything unless we pray to Allah to help us. And we are seeking for the federal government and our state government to come in.
Even started inviting those people that brought the seed from outside Nigeria or even within. They have to explain.
The overall objective is to ensure resilience and massive production in the onion sector to continue to contribute towards boosting the country's food security and gross domestic product. In Sokoto, Abdullah Omar Ilalu, NTA News.
Usman Mohammed Bije is live on ground to provide further insights into the circumstances surrounding the seed-borne crop losses that have severely impacted Nigeria's onion farmers. Let's hear from you, Usman.
Hello, welcome to Sokoto, the seat of the Caliphate. Presently, we are in Sokoto metropolis, the onions market in particular. In recent times, so to speak, despite the fact that Nigeria is the largest producer of onions in Africa, farmers have suffered losses due to effect of flooding that ravaged their farms. And in addition to that, there was also insects that also ravaged their farms. In addition to that, the farmers also sold adulterated onion seed, and that has further complicated the matter. Now, instead of the farmers to celebrate bumper harvest, now what they are harvesting is poor yields due to the use of adulterated onion seeds. And joining me to further shed light on the effect of the devastating effect of flooding and the use of adulterated onion seed is the NOPMAN chairman in Sokoto State, in person of Sani Audu Wamako. So it is good to have you here.
Thank you very much. And well, thank you very much for having me.
Onion farmers in particular have suffered a lot of losses. Can you shed light on that?
Yes, you see, I am 59 years old, and I've never And I've been in the farming, onion farming system for these 59 years. I have never experienced this worst situation like this year. You see, that is a natural cause, which is flooding. There was flooding, and then the issue of insects ate what we planted. So we could not have seed again. We have to, look for where we can get a very good seed to put again. So a seed comes to us 4-in-1. What we were told is that seed comes from Algeria through Niger to Nigeria. After spraying it, a seed after transplanting supposed to spend only 3 months and then ready for harvesting. What you can see down there is what we have after 3 months. This is unusual. And this is what happened everywhere in Sokoto, not just Sokoto State, even the neighboring state that have bought this seed. It is an unproductive seed. I will call it unproductive. Because
with this situation, how will that affect onions industry in Nigeria as a whole?
It has affected. And a bag of onion now in Sokoto, I have never seen that, I have never experienced it. A bag of onion now in Sokoto is about 260. Why did you see onions here? This is where we pack onions. Thousands, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 bags of onions. You cannot see 500 now. This is what we have.
So I will ask you, what is the way out?
Well, the only way out now is to call for intervention, because we are down. Our farmers are down. Many of them have gone, let me say, bankrupted. They cannot produce anything, they cannot buy anything again. So we have to ask for intervention from anywhere. But to start with, we have to ask for an assistance from our own dear state.
Thank you very much, Sani Auduamako, the Nopman Chairman. That is all we can take from Sokoto.
Thank you very much indeed, Usman, for that update. Thank you. Well, that's it on Nationwide for today. We thank you for being part of it. I am Ifoma Ojinta. Bye for now. Nationwide.